Mar? Mar?
Make some cash? Do some good. Earn up to $40 per hour donating plasma. Easy and quick donations that earn you money. And positively impact your community. Take our quick quiz to see if you're eligible.
What's going on? What's going on? This is your girl Diamond, and we got some stuff to talk about today, y'all. Yes, we do. We got some stuff to talk about. All right, you guys. What's up? This your girl, Politically Diamond. I've been gone because I've been on vacation, child, and I've been enjoying my vacation. I got a few more days left, and I plan on enjoying them. But listen, we got to get into this. We got to talk about what I just heard. Okay, Donald Trump, all his little secrets is coming out. All right, we already know Donald Trump is one of the biggest scumbags on this planet. But listen, he's about to get caught up in all his stuff, all right? So, it's this woman, this Turkish woman, she's claiming to be Donald Trump's daughter. I'm going to show you this lady picture right quick, right? And I want you to tell me if this lady look like the Donald. All right, tell me if this lady look like the Donald to you. See this lady right here? She is saying that she is Donald Trump's secret daughter. And she is demanding. Hold on, y'all, hold on. I'm just talking. I'm just sitting here talking, running my mouth. I ain't even know I had it on mute, y'all. Yeah, let's talk about this. Let's get in this. Damn. All this time y'all was on mute. So yeah, this lady is claiming, you believe her? She look just like Mary Trump. She look just like Mary Trump. Let's look at Mary Trump right quick before I get into these details, because I ain't even know that I had y'all on silent. That's Mary Trump, all right? Looking just like the Donald. Just with a wig on. You know, Tyler Perry and Madea, that's Donald. And that's a white Madea right there. Donald Trump, okay? That's his niece. And look, this is the daughter. Look at Trump. She got his whole face. Look at that nose. Look at that nose. Look at that. The whole face. Okay, so what's happening, right? What happened? Her adoptive parents had a baby on the same day that her mother had a baby, right? But the adoptive parents' baby came out stillborn. So they did a switch, a baby switch, because her real biological mom couldn't take care of the baby. All right. So she gave the biological mom gave her to the adoptive parents that had that stillborn baby in the hospital that day. And she did not find out till 2017 until her adoptive mother finally came out and told her the truth that Donald Trump is her father. So now she is demanding, okay, a DNA test. Same thing going on with Jay-Z and Ramir. That boy has been all over saying, this is my daddy. Daddy, daddy, daddy. My mama told me this was her dying wish for me to find out the truth about my daddy. All right? When all else fails, the children come out. The secret children come out. Now, let's get into an article because this is explosive. Now, let's see. They say that the mama gave her up because it was some type of inappropriate relationship that her and Donald were having. All right? An inappropriate relationship that Donald was having. How was it inappropriate? What was going on? This is what I want to know. What was going on? All right? So let's get into some of these facts. It says, rumors regarding a secret daughter for Donald Trump stem from a 2018 report about a 1980s affair with a housekeeper that allegedly produced a child. A former doorman alleged he was paid to keep the story silent. But these claims have not been independently confirmed, and mainstream media noted that there is no evidence supporting this rumor. Now, the allegations: a former Trump World Tower doorman claimed Donald Trump had a child with a housekeeper in the late 1980s. The payment: the doorman, Dino Sajudin, was paid $30,000 by American Media, the publisher of the National Enquirer, to secure the rights to his stories. Okay, let's get into. It was an article that I want to get into. Now, this has been out for a while, but you know, sometimes things come out and it gets swept under the rug, and until they come back. And I was coming back, and it's gonna bite Donald in the ass. Donald got so much stuff going on. Donald has so much stuff going on. Yes, he do. I'm gonna have to call her right back. All right, so oh man, let's see if we can find a video. God, everything on Facebook? Oh, that's all on Facebook, YouTube. Let's get into this, honey.
There are stories that arrive in the news like a stray gust through an open door, and you feel the temperature drop like as a ghost entering the room and look up, and for a moment the ordinary world becomes more oddly theatrical. And about 3 years, found my original birth certificate, and I got hold of some of her relatives who said that she wouldn't want a similar birth story. We were both adopted as children, Pierce, and we had an interaction because he and I share a sort of similar birth story. We were both adopted as children. We both spent about 3 years in an orphanage, and then after my mother died, I found my original birth certificate, and I went on a quest. It took a few years, about 20 years, to actually locate my birth mother. I finally did so, or at least I got hold of some of her relatives who said that she wouldn't want to speak to me, and they didn't realize I existed, blah, blah, blah. And then I remember very clearly I went to the premiere of the musical Mary Poppins in the West End, and
Come on. Let's see if he got
who's really. But Turkish case is not merely that she was adopted or informal, and he's written a book about it, Finding Margaret, and I will eventually write a book about it, Finding Ellen. But today is not about Andrew Pierce. This is what's so extraordinary. I read this story this morning, and then another story has popped up from Turkey, and the Turkish case has this extraordinary quality, like a gust of wind, like ghosts coming into the room. And a 55-year-old woman in Ankara, Nesla Özlem, says that she has lived for decades with one identity on paper and another identity whispered in private. And her claim is not merely that she was adopted or informally transferred, but that she was swapped at birth after a stillbirth, handed over by a woman she identifies as Sophia, and then told years later, I have to bring up a picture of her, and here she is. She told years later in 2017 by the mother who raised her, this person is your father. And that person, she says, is Donald Trump. And that's why it reads at first like an Anastasius.
Oh man, I was trying to get it plugged up. This thing take forever to turn back on. So yeah, why I get that going? This is explosive because, okay, what if this lady can take a DNA test and come to find out that Donald Trump is really her father? She looks just like Donald Trump. To me, she looked more like Donald Trump than Ivanka, than Tiffany, than any of those daughters that you see online all the time, okay? She looks more like the Donald than Donald. And that's usually how it go. When you have a side baby, a secret baby, that baby always looks like you. All right? And this ain't no different. Now, we need this lady to take this DNA test. We need some information to come out about who her mama was and what was the inappropriate relationship that her mama was having with Donald Trump that caused her to have this lady, okay? And have this baby. And listen, we know now how these people set things up. How do her biological mom and her adoptive parents, how do they wind up in the hospital on the same day having babies? The adoptive parents had a stillborn, and just like that, a girl in the other room said, you know what, I can't take care of my baby, and I heard that the couple down the hall had a stillborn baby, so you know what, I just give my baby to them. How does that happen? That happens in secret on the black market. We know those type of things happen, but it's not happening just like that. Okay? It probably was some type of setup. I guarantee you, Donald Trump played a part in this. I can guarantee that she is not the only secret love child, and not even love child, just secret child that Donald Trump has. Okay? I can guarantee Donald Trump has children all over the world. Children he knows nothing about. He probably, man, it's so ridiculous. But this is a bombshell allegation, okay? Because this can mean a lot. Just like Jay-Z's son Ramir allegedly, that once this DNA test that has been, they attempted to kill this dude, they done ruined his life, all because he wants to prove that Jay-Z is his daddy. And if he could get Jay-Z to take a DNA test, then they can look at the age that his mother was, and that will confirm that Jay-Z was having sex with underage girls, okay? If we can confirm that this Turkish woman is Donald Trump's secret daughter, okay, that they did a baby swap, all right? And how do we even know that the baby that the people had was stillborn? How do we even know that they had a baby? I believe that they wasn't even in a hospital having a baby that day. I believe that they were set up to take this girl and they just made it look a certain way because we know nowadays everything is a play. Everything is put together. Everything is meant to confuse us, okay? So I believe that it was all a setup. I believe it has been so many kids. Man, this is ridiculous. I'm really believing that a lot of these people like Erica Kirk and things, I believe that these are some of the trafficked kids right in our faces. I don't trust any organization anymore that panders to kids that have been abused, especially if they've been sexually abused. If they come from a home like orphanages, I think all those are undercover sex trafficking agencies. Now that's what I'm seeing. And I believe that a lot of these people that we see on TV, they tell us that these are their parents. Erica Kirk and that woman that they said is her mama, just because this lady got blonde hair don't mean that this Erica Kirk mama, okay? Just because you tell us that this is Erica Kirk's mother don't mean that I'm going to believe it. All right? Go look at Erica Kirk's mom. Yes, blonde hair. Yes, blue eye. Yes, white. That don't mean that's her daughter. And that don't mean that's her mama. I believe Erica Kirk is just like a lot of these kids have been trafficked and been told things and they believe them and they've been playing in our face. The playing in our face so long. Think about this guy that just died. I think his name was John. I can't remember his name. He just died a couple days ago. And Donald Trump came out and said he glad that the dude died. Now this dude stood up for Donald Trump in the paint when it came down to it. He was on the line of fire. He said Donald ain't did nothing wrong. And then this man died and Donald Trump said, I'm glad he dead. All right. Now, if you can think back to like Donald's first term, for a long time, they've been saying, listen, this thing's on Donald. We trying to get him. We trying to put him in jail. We trying to get him impeached. And they couldn't find nothing. How they couldn't find nothing with all this stuff coming out now? How could they not find anything back then? And even when I was listening, I was like, why they messing with this man? Because they keep trying to investigate him. They keep looking for things. They keep taking him to court. They can't find nothing. Fast forward to now. All this stuff is coming out. That's why I believe when they asked Trump what happened to a lot of those kids that were trafficked to Jeffrey Epstein, he said, I believe most of them are dead. He know this because he has inside information. He was there. All right? So I just don't believe anything anymore. I don't trust any of them. A lot of these people, I'm really starting to look at a lot of these celebrities. Like, I'm disgusted by celebrities. I don't look up to any of them. I don't want to be any of them. I don't wish I could be none of them. If you live a regular, normal life where you struggling, you going to work, you able to go out to eat some, you're doing good. You're doing way better than any of them. You're doing better than Beyonce. You're doing better than any of them that you listen to that you used to think that you wanted to be like. I recently saw a picture of Jay-Z. He was drinking, I need to get my other charger. He was drinking something in a wine glass, right? And it did not look like red wine. If you ever see what blood look like in a cup or anything, and see how thick it is, that the thick layer that it will leave, even when it's like drained down, it looked like blood. And then they showed a video at an award show. It was him and Beyonce sitting at a table and another couple people. And they were giving like Beyonce this award and things like that. And when the camera panned on them, on her and Jay-Z at the table, Jay-Z picked up this cup with this red stuff in it. We gonna say it's red wine allegedly. And he tried to hand it to her. Now and you can tell that he waited till the camera got on them. This is how they do it. They do stuff like this on camera to let these are the secret things they do for the people that know. If you know, you know. Okay. He tried to give Beyonce this cup, and Beyonce, she was laughing, she was smiling, and she shook her head no, and he sat the cup back down. And he was looking really mad, like he was eating something like maybe peanuts or something, and he was just throwing the peanuts in his mouth. When my pad come back on, we gonna get into this, honey. Let me go ahead and get my charger. Y'all give me a couple minutes. I'll be back because we going in today. All right, y'all. All right. Listen, right quick. Anybody drink these? These are so good. Like they like $3-4 at the little Mexican store. I love the pineapple. They have different flavors. They have like strawberry, banana, things like that. They are so good. I love to get them real cold and just sip them. They so good. But yeah, I'm getting this pad on so I can show y'all some of this stuff because I no longer believe this stuff that they telling us. They are playing in our faces, and I'm starting to look at a lot of these celebrities, a lot of the women. I really think they're men. Yeah, look what's going on with Brigitte Macron, and finding out that she may not be a woman. It's a high possibility that she is a man, and you know they always had that rumor about Michelle Obama, that Michelle Obama was a man. Now, if you remember Joan Rivers, all right, Joan Rivers, she came out, she said everybody knows Michelle is a transvestite. Everybody knows that Obama is gay. And guess what? A couple months later, she was dead. She was dead. And this lady was old in good health. Joan Rivers, if you remember Joan Rivers, she kept her hair did. She always had nice clothes. She was funny. She was a lot of things. What's going on with this charger? I don't know. What's going on with the charger, the pad? She always kept herself up. Okay? But when she came out and she said that about Michelle, and then we never got an answer to what happened to the Obama chef. How did he just drown in this lake in the back of their house? Like, was they out there paddle boating? What was they doing? Was they kayaking and it just tipped over? Why did this guy die? Okay, we never got answers to that. A lot of these stars, like listen, Caitlin Clark, tell me that ain't no man. Tell me Caitlin Clark ain't no man. I believe a lot of these people, people like, what's her name? Katie Holmes. She probably a woman, but people like that, I believe a lot of them are men. We are now finding out that when we was watching Biggie Smalls' video, it was transvestites in that video. We always heard the lyrics, so you so fine, I'll suck on your daddy's dick. And we singing this shit. And we ain't saying, wait a minute, listen to what we singing. This dude said, you so fine, I'll suck your daddy dick. What? Now in 2026, now we saying, wait a minute, that wasn't right. And now they doing deep dives of these videos, and it's coming out transvestites was in these videos. What is going on with my pants? I hate this. I hate this for me. Because I was supposed to charge this thing last night. Look at my other charger. Alright, hopefully I get some power. Alright, I'm trying to get this pad on. I hope my pad ain't broke, because it just ain't charging. It ain't doing nothing. I'ma leave it. But yeah, so I'ma pay attention to this because the news media, they love to sweep things under the rug. This lady came out a while ago. I have seen articles up to a year ago where it's talking about this lady is claiming that Donald Trump is her real daddy. All right. And I can imagine how his kids feel. Like Ivanka them, I can only imagine how they feel. But I'm quite sure that they done heard this plenty of times. I'm quite sure they know their daddy got other kids out there that he don't claim, that he don't want to claim. He only want to claim the prettiest, all that. And it still make me think about Ivanka's mother, the one that is buried on a golf course. Like, they're saying that it may be bodies on at Epstein's place. They about to start digging up bodies and things like that. Let's dig up this golf course. That's what we need to dig up. They need to dig up Donald Trump's golf course, because if Donald Trump was bold enough and felt okay enough to actually suggest burying his kid's mother there, I feel like where there's smoke, there's fire, there's other people buried there. Now, they were saying at first that he buried her there because now he can file different taxes because it's like a cemetery. It's considered a cemetery. Like imagine like you out with your friends golfing on the fourth hole. I don't know how many holes it is. I'm just saying fourth hole, and you know Donald Trump's kid's mother tombstone is right there by the little hole thing. Okay, like that's disgusting. How do you bury someone that you was supposed to have love, had kids with, and you bury them on a golf course? That's no dignity. No dignity at all, okay? Y'all, I think something that happened to my pad. It just ain't charging. Something happened to my pad. I'm taking this shit straight back for warranty. Because it just ain't doing nothing. It ain't doing nothing at all. Oh my God. It just ain't doing nothing. See, this is why you don't buy electronics from goddamn Walmart. Their price is cheap for a reason. Because it's cheap shit. It just ain't coming around. And it's been charging for a minute. It don't even say, you know how you put your charger in and say 0%? And it had a little electric sign on it. It ain't even saying that. It's just saying, bitch, you should have paid more. You should have went to Best Buy. You want to go to Walmart. You should have went somewhere else. Damn. I feel so lonely and depressed right now because these pants are so beautiful when they lit and working and you just scrolling, but when they don't come on and they just this black piece of glass looking thing, you get real depressed. You start questioning your life, and it ain't wet. So I don't know what's going on with it. So yeah, I want to talk about Usher too. So we have loved Usher for a long time. I have always, always, always been an Usher fan from the very beginning to, well, I can't even say now, okay? Because the smoke screen is gone. Oh, excuse me, the smoke screen is gone. All right, all the pretend, we been knew Usher had problems when Usher couldn't keep one woman. Usher been married how many times? About 2-3 times now. I believe he recently had a daughter. But him and Justin Bieber are going viral for some party that Beyonce threw. And think about that, Beyonce, with all this stuff going on, it's like these people are still getting together. They act like nothing's bothering them. Like, I couldn't imagine living that life. I actually believe like Beyonce is the best pretender ever. And what made me believe that is when I saw how she reacted in that elevator with Solange and Jay-Z. She kept that smile. I believe she remembers that everywhere she goes, there are cameras. She knew it was cameras in that elevator. She knew what was up, so she kept that smile on. Oof.